January 7th, and the clock strikes 10:30 a.m. in Los Angeles. The air is crisp, the sun casts its golden rays across the city, and the vibrant winter landscape seems like a serene painting. But beneath this picturesque facade, a sinister force stirs, winds howling at a terrifying speed of 80 miles per hour, carrying with them whispers of destruction. The atmosphere, parched and brittle, is poised for catastrophe. In a heartbeat, this beautiful winter day transforms into a raging inferno, as flames leap from the earth, devouring everything in their path. What began as a tranquil morning quickly morphs into a battle for survival, where the city of Los Angeles faces its fiercest foe yet, the relentless wrath of fire.
The canyon.
January 2nd, 2025. A seemingly typical day in Southern California. But behind the veneer of tranquility, a storm was brewing in the atmosphere. The National Inter-County Fire Center raised an alarm, warning that the conditions were ripe for the above normal significant fire risk. On January the 3rd, the Storm Prediction Center forecast a critical risk of the fire weather that would occur on January 8th and January 7th. January 6th, the gravity of the situation couldn't be ignored. The California's Governor Gavin Newsom took action, mobilizing 65 engines, 105 firefighting personnel, and even 7 helicopters to combat the looming threat. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass issued a stark warning cautioning the resident of the ferocity of the impending windstorm, potentially one of the worst in the decades. She urged everyone to stay vigilant and avoid any downed power lines, words that would soon resonate all too clearly. As dawn broke on January the 7th, the winds began to howl. The city of Los Angeles declared a state of emergency, bracing for what was about to come. The South Coast Air Quality Management District issued a warning, a dust storm warning, signaling that the atmosphere was charged with danger. That same day, 2 fires ignited in Riverside and Sunside in Los Angeles. Fortunately, they were controlled. However, the worst was yet to come. At 10:30, January the 10th, the first major fire erupted at the Pacific Palisades. This inferno, with just 19% containment, is rapidly becoming the most dangerous inferno of the all, signaling the start of the fierce battle against the nature. But the chaos on January 7th didn't end there. As the sun sets, 2 more fires joined the fray. At 6:18 p.m, the Eaton fire ignited, which is at the moment being 35% contained. Just hours later, the Hearst fire erupted at 10:29 p.m. But thanks to the swift actions of the firefighters, it is around 98% contained. On January the 8th, the battle continued. Fires in Woodley and Lady erupted, but they were contained by the midday, even as the flames danced in the Hollywood Hills. At 6 p.m, the firefighters worked tirelessly to wrestle back the control from the grip of the chaos. Fast forward to January 15th. Across the United States of America, more than 30 fires were raised in different states, 5 of which were still burning, including the notorious Palisades, Eaton, Hearst, Creek, and Auto fires, and at Little Mountain. While 25 fires were contained, the fight is yet from over. As the flames raged to Southern California, the burden of destruction all became too real. Let's take a closer look at the fires that wreaked the havoc. Starting with the Palisades fire. The Pacific Palisades in the Los Angeles County. This inferno had burned an astonishing 23,713 acres of land, leaving devastation at its wake. Over 5,300 structures are burned, and as of the latest reports, the containment is just still 21%, while the financial impact is staggering. It is calculated to be around $20 to $30 billion. But the human toll is not just astonishing, it is heartbreaking. More than 9 lives have yet been lost, and around 105,000 residents have been forced to evacuate their home. Next, we turn our attention to 2025's, which erupted at Altadena, Los Angeles County. This fire has already been consumed more than 13,000 acres, destroying approximately 5,000 structures. Alarmingly, the containment is still 45%. Evacuations have been ordered in Altadena and Pasadena, leaving the community at the edge. Moving on to the host fire, located in the Filmora area in the Los Angeles County. Although it has burned less than 1,000 acres of land, containment efforts have been successfully at 98%. Financial impact contributes to the estimated loss of $2.5 billion. And then there is the Woodley fire, which contributes to the burn. Although the specific acreage has yet been unknown, its financial impact is also included at $2.5 billion, highlighting the toll of these blazes across the region. Then comes the Linear fire. It has burned less than 1,000 acres of land, but thankfully it is completely contained, while the Sunset fire in Los Angeles had been contained, with structures threatened, but still no specific numbers yet available for it. The Riverside fire at San Bernardino County has burned multiple vehicles and makeshift residences, while the Gotch fire in Santa Clarita is small, yet it is another reminder of the devastation of these fires. Meanwhile, the King fire in Ladera Heights reported multiple fires, but thankfully no structures were destroyed in it. And the Huntington fire in Duarte was also a small fire with no reported damage. On January 15, another new fire erupted at the Little Mountain, San Bernardino County, which is still on the verge to be contained, but unfortunately with 0% containment rate. In Pasadena, the Bird fire involved at least 10 structures, while the Tyler fire north of Coachella damaged 2 structures. Each of these fires add to the total burden that communities are facing in the Southern California. The collective burden and the damage of the fires is staggering, both financial and most important, emotional. As Los Angeles continues to witness the resilience of the community, we must remember that behind every statistic is a story of loss, survival, and hope. Let's start with the calculable damage. Property damage from the wildfires in the United States is staggering, with estimates ranging from $394 billion to $450 billion annually. This represents a significant portion of the total economic impact, as the flames consumes not just the houses but the livelihood. This fire has estimated to cost around $150 billion to $200 billion. Next, consider the firefighting cost. Between 2016 and 2020, federal spending on the fire department was estimated at $2.5 billion annually. With the climate change intensifying the fire costs, this cost is about to skyrocket after the event in 2025, even putting a further strain on public resources. Then there is the issue of insurance costs. As wildfires wreak havoc, insurance claims too skyrocket, leading to high premiums from house owners. In more than several cases, insurers may even withdraw from high-risk areas altogether, leaving residents vulnerable and unprotected. But the financial impact don't end here. Unfortunately, costs loom large over local economies. Economic disruption arose from the business closures, loss of income, and changes in tax revenues. Capital market, especially the real estate and insurance sector, suffer negative return during and after significant wildfires, and the same would be happening in this scenario of 2025. Moreover, we must consider the health costs. Long-term health issues arose from the smoke exposure and other fire-related problems, contributing significantly to the overall burden affecting the economy. The devastation sought by these wildfires extend far beyond the physical destruction. The environmental costs are also a critical factor. The long-term damage to watersheds and the increased carbon emissions from these fires have far-reaching economic implications that are difficult to quantify. Now let's step back and look at the cumulative impact of the Los Angeles fire. The numbers are staggering, overwhelming, and mind-boggling. At least 25 lives are lost, 22 non-fatal injuries, and 24 individuals are still reported missing. Over 205,000 people have been forced to evacuate, with 90,000 still under the orders to evacuate. More than 12,400 structures are destroyed, and the total estimated economic loss is more than $150 billion to $200 billion US, making it one of the most costliest wildfire in the United States history. As we delve into the causes of the devastating wildfires that hit Los Angeles, it is essential to understand the intricate web of factors that contributes to this devastating catastrophe. Let's explore the possible causes that set the stage for this disaster. First and foremost, we may have the remnant of the old fire. Around the New Year's Eve, a small blaze ignited near the Pacific Palisades, sparked by the celebratory fireworks. The LA Fire Department quickly contained it, but with the fierce winds that followed, these old embers could have easily reignited, leading to far more significant fire. Next is the relentless drought. In Southern California, wildfires are a natural part of life, playing a crucial ecological role. However, the region has faced 2 decades of drought. This was followed by the eventual 2 years of heavy rainfall, which eventually led to devastating vegetative growth. But this year, the city experienced the driest winter, turning the landscape into a veritable tinderbox. Climate change had intensified this situation, with research indicating that the hot and dry winter increasingly overlaps with the offshore winds. All it takes is one tiny spark. It could be a passing car, it could be a discarded cigarette, or a lightning thunderous strike to ignite the dry vegetations and unleash a wildfire. Another potential cause, and one of the most important one, is the town power lines. Normally, the Los Angeles cut the power to homes during the dry and windy season to prevent fires. However, in Eaton, the power remained on even after the fires were ignited. It is quite possible that the branch of a tree would have caught fire, or that power lines fell and ignited a blaze. But amidst these explanations, a narrative has emerged among the myths, suggesting a more sinister cause: an arson. Posts by celebrities on social media have fueled speculation that these fires were not merely the result of natural events. Even Elon Musk have entered the conversation, sharing a video of an arsonist with the blowtorch. Despite these claims, the fire department of Los Angeles has ruled out any arson activities so far. However, the experts warn us that the arsonists might not be involved in starting or sparking the fire. It is entirely possible that the opportunities might have taken advantage of these chaotic situation, fanning the flames. They caution that the arson might not entirely be ruled out just yet. When it comes to the wildfires in Southern California, one of the most powerful contributors to these wildfires is the wind entered the Santa Ana winds, often referred as devil winds. These extreme dry catastrophic winds originate from inland areas and sweep across the coastal areas of the Southern California and northern Baja California, creating a perfect storm for the fire condition. The Santa Ana winds arise from cool, dry, high-pressure air masses in the Great West, known for bringing in hot, dry weather. These winds often peak in autumn, the hottest time of the year, but still they can strike at any moment, bringing with them the lowest humidity of the air. These low humidity, along with the warm, compressionally heated air, along with high wind speeds, create a critical fire condition. These winds move swiftly, and when they are in full force, the impact is devastating. Take the Palisades fire for example. It ignited in the morning, and within 25 minutes it had spread across 200 acres of land, all thanks to relentless dry and high-speedy winds. And it does not stop here. These high-speedy winds can lead to the ignition of more fires, creating a chain reaction of destruction. Another critical factor is the reduction of the local water supplies. Lengthy dry seasons have not only diminished the water supplies, but also reduced the numbers of safe days to carry out effective fire management practices, such as controlled burns of vegetation and bushes. Compounding these challenges are the new environmental policies, banned logging and discouragement of the controlled burns. Once an effective method to reduce potential fuel for these wildfires, have left the landscape vulnerable. New environmental laws made it entirely difficult to control these vegetations before the critical situation began. As we explore the factors contributing to this catastrophic wildfire, we must recognize the intricate interplay of natural forces and human decisions. America, referred to as the richest country in the world, with boasting state-of-the-art equipment and infrastructure second to none, one might assume that with such resources they would be better equipped to control such scenarios. Yet, as we have seen, that's not the case so far. So what's basically holding America back? While nature runs its course and creates a perfect storm for disaster, several critical factors hinder effective control of such fire. First up is the reduced budget of the fire department of Los Angeles. The budget of fire department was slashed by $17.6 million, or 2% for the year 2024 and 25. On December the 4th, 2024, LA Fire Chief Kirsten Crowley voiced serious concerns about these reductions, stating that these cutting corners has greatly hindered the department's ability to control an emergency situation. The cut of $7 million in overtime hours severely limited their capability to prepare for, to train for, and to respond large-scale emergencies. This also impacted the vital inspections of the residential areas and brush clearances, which is, as we already know, as a critical step in controlling the wildlife. But budget cuts are not the only reason. Poor planning has also played its part. Take the Santa Ynez Reservoir, for example, a crucial part of Los Angeles water infrastructure, holding a staggering 117 million gallons of water. Unfortunately, before the wildfires, it was completely emptied due to the ongoing maintenance to repair some tear in the canals. Scheduled to resume operations in the February 2025, the reservoir's emptiness had greatly reduced the firefighters' capability to distinguish the fire. Former Los Angeles Department of Water and Power General Manager Martin Adams noted that these repair operations have been ongoing for a while and that officials usually maintain low water levels in the reservoir during the winters to prevent the stagnation of the water with the bacterial growths and chemical concentrations. So while America has the resources and the infrastructure to fight wildfires, systemic issues like budget cuts, like poor planning, have weakened its defenses. As wildfires are increasingly fierce and repeated, the US as a whole need to rethink about these strategies to control the fire. As people continue to confront these devastating impact of the wildfires, we must critically examine the factors that led to such an overwhelming situation. One glaring issue is the insufficient amount of personnel to stop the wildfire. Went wrong. The Los Angeles Fire Department was simply not prepared for the scale of this disaster. Yes, it is how it is. Due to cutting corners, the personnel have been reduced that could have been increased, as there was already predictions of these wildfires beforehand by different departments of the United States. So what could have been done? First and foremost, US need to enhance their firefighting capability. This means increasing the number of the active personnel for the firefighting and the equipment available for the simultaneous response to multiple fires. Additionally, investing in training and advanced equipment is crucial to bolster the capacity of emergency situations and large-scale wildfire events. That should be seen for the forthcoming times is the adequate community preparedness. Vulnerable communities like Latinos faced systemic barriers that exacerbated the situation, as we already know that some of the residents couldn't speak much fluent English, so they wouldn't be able to act in an emergency situation. Limited access to health insurance, gaps in emergency preparedness, and language barriers all play their part in worsening the situation. So what can US do to render such events next time? Community preparedness through design programs for vulnerable communities that are not well equipped with the English language. This includes providing language-specific programs and support to ensure everyone has the access to critical information and assistance. We need to implement comprehensive community strategies. Think face-to-face interactions and building trust-based relationships that empower community. Finally, and the most important thing is to address the urban planning, the infrastructure challenges that have put homes at risk and lives at stake. Continued development in high-risk areas has increased the vulnerability of the community. What else should be implemented? Stricter building rules and laws and land use planning should be enforced to prevent development in high-risk fire zones. It is also essential to implement sustainable forest managing practices, which include reducing the vegetations, besides ensuring proper trees spacing. Moreover, promoting the creation of defensible spaces around the structures can make all the possible difference in protecting homes and also protecting the lives of residents, which is far and foremost the most important thing.